Hi, and welcome to another episode of A Walk to Remember. My name's Dwayne Baker-Henderson, and as always, I'll be your host as we explore some of the truths and the myths surrounding postpartum depression. And I do this by sharing my experience and my family's experience as we journeyed through postpartum depression a number of years ago. And hopefully there'll be some stuff in these videos to help you in your journey through postpartum depression, or to be able to support somebody else in their journey. Hopefully we'll give you some tips, some information that will become useful for you. Now I want to do something a little bit different. It's been a couple of weeks since I recorded an episode, so I'm going to call this Season 2. We'll pretend that was a Season 1, Season 2 break. And I want to start this season a little bit differently. I want to talk specifically to the men in this episode. The guys out there who are the husbands, the partners, the boyfriends of a wife who is going through postpartum depression, and therefore you as a family are going through it as well. And this is something that I found myself in that role a number of years ago, 7 years ago, after my daughter was born. And at the time, I thought that nothing could have prepared me for that situation. I didn't know very much about it. I didn't really understand what it was all about. But I've come to realize that everything leading up to that point had actually prepared me for that journey. And I encourage you to look at it that way yourself too. You're not being thrown into something that you can't handle. I guarantee it. But there are some drawbacks and some things that will make it a little bit different for you if you don't change a mindset or two. And I want to talk about one of those specifically today. It's something that I talked about in my vlog on Friday, and I want to talk about it a little bit in more detail because it's something that's really important. You may hear my family running around upstairs. Sorry about that. But that thing is that society has pigeonholed men in general as the fixers, the problem solvers, the ones who look at a situation that needs to be changed, and they are expected to change it a lot of the time. It's not always the case that it's a man who is in that position, but it tends to be the way that society thinks about us as men, and we kind of take that on ourselves. I know that myself, when I first realized that my wife was going through postpartum depression, my first impression was to help fix it, to do some things to fix her situation and make her feel healthier, and to heal relationships that were being damaged by that. And what I came to realize is that's impossible. I can't fix things outside of myself. I can't change the way somebody is feeling about themselves, or the way people are interacting together, unless they want to change that. They can listen to what I have to say, but until they can internalize that, there's not really a whole lot I can do. But we come to think of ourselves as men as the fixers, and so when there's a situation that we can't fix, and my wife's postpartum depression was a prime example for me, we start to lose confidence and lose kind of that identity of ourselves as men. That's what I found anyway. I felt really powerless, really helpless in helping my wife to get through the situation, until I realized that there were some things that I can do that didn't involve changing anyone else. I could handle situations. I could take on responsibilities, but I couldn't change the way Corey was feeling inside. How she was suffering from the doubts and the fears and the anger issues and stuff that came along with postpartum depression. And that was tough for me to realize, and tough for me to kind of step back and say, okay, well, what can I do? I realize now that I can't fix the situation for my wife, but what can I do? And that's when I started talking more and more to a mentor of mine, a beautiful woman named Lori, who helped me a great deal with a lot of understandings. And really she told me to work on myself, and everything else would work itself out. The relationships that had been damaged, the way my wife was feeling, all that stuff would be worked out, and the tensions between Corey and I as well. That could be worked out after the fact, as long as I kept a grasp of who I was and my role in our relationship, and and didn't lose that. And I've talked about this in a couple of other videos in a different context, but really that was an important thing for me. And so I did take on some mentorship, and I did seek information myself, and I grew myself. I did tons of reading during that time, lots of thinking, lots of mentoring with Lori and her husband Dean. That helped me hugely. My dad as well has always been really a powerful support for me during that time, and my mom too. She was instrumental in having me not take on a lot of negative feelings towards feeling afraid about certain things and stuff like that, because she gave me the opportunity to get some space so that I could make sure that I was able to stay strong. So there were some very valuable people in my circle that helped me to help myself. And by working on myself, it helped me to ward off things like resentment. There were certain things that came along with Corey getting postpartum depression that at first I did point the finger and blame and say, had this not happened, then this wouldn't have happened. But that wasn't fair, because Corey didn't bring that on, and it wasn't her fault at all. And so once I was able to separate myself from the situation a little bit and work on me a bit and my own inner peace and my understanding of what was going on, it really did help me push away things like blame and doubt and fear and things like that. So I encourage you to do that too. Remember, you can't fix other people. It's impossible. You can't fix anybody but yourself. And really, you're not fixing anything in yourself. You're just changing habits and changing beliefs. And there's really nothing wrong with you to begin with. But if you can change some beliefs around fear and believing that you can fix other people and things like that, your journey is going to be a lot smoother as a support person. You'll be able to continue to just pour your love into your wife or your spouse or your partner, whoever it is. And that's really the most important thing you can do for the person you're supporting, is just love them anyway, regardless of what is happening, what they're saying, and regardless of the tensions between you, because there might be tensions. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully that is helpful for some of you. If any of the women out there have stuck along with us, hopefully that is helpful for you for understanding kind of what a man's perspective in a lot of things is. We do see ourselves as the fixer, because that's the position that society says we need to be in. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like the video if you did like it. Share it with the people who might find some value in it. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see what's coming up next. I do put out 2 videos every week, Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday is my Walk to Remember, just like this one, where I talk about my family's journey through postpartum depression. And Fridays is a personal vlog where I just talk about the things that are in my mind at the time. Anyway, thank you very much again for watching. See you in the next video, and I hope this has helped a little bit. Bye-bye.